Hello. As active participant of International FDP on Environment and Sustainability organized by DY Patil College of Engineering Akurdi, I, Mr. Azim Shabir Sutar of DY Patil College of Engineering and Technology, Kasba Bawda Kolhapur, from Civil Engineering Department, taking subject Environmental Engineering. Today I am going to deal with a topic related to sewage treatment plant and its process. As you have known, my first video was related to the sewage treatment plant process. The link is been attached here, and I thank everyone for liking my videos that I got 153 likes not more than 2 to 3 days, and total views were 365. Thank you very much. At a glance, just we will see the we'll take a glance for the previous PPT. Sewage treatment is the process of removing contaminants from municipal wastewater containing mainly household sewage plus some industrial wastewater. Physical, chemical, and biological processes are used to remove contaminants and produce treated wastewater or treated effluent that is safe enough for release into the environment. A byproduct of sewage treatment is a semi solid waste or slurry called sewage sludge. The sludge has to undergo further treatment before being suitable for disposal or application to land. This was my previous video content. Now let's move towards the week 2. Week 2 will be dealing with the environmental standards related to the sewage treatment plant. Now let's move see towards the Water Acts. The Water Prevention and Control Act 1974. This act was to provide for the prevention and control of water pollution and the maintaining or restoring of wholesomeness of water for the establishment with a review to carrying out the purposes aforesaid of boards for the prevention and control of water pollution for conferring on the and assigning to such boards powers and functions relating thereto and for matters connected therewithin. Whereas it is expedient to provide for the prevention and control of water pollution and the maintaining or restoring the wholesomeness of water. Next, the Environmental Protection Act. An act to provide for the protection and improvement of the environment and the matters connected therewithin. The Environmental Protection Act was established in 1986, whereas decisions were taken by the United Nations Conference on the Human Environment held at Stockholm in June 1972, in which India participated to take appropriate steps for the protection and improvements of human environment. And whereas it is considered necessary further to implement the decisions aforesaid in so far as they related to the protection and improvement of environment and the prevention of hazards to human beings, other living creatures, plants and property too, be it enacted by Parliament in the 37th year of Republic of India as follows. Now let's see the government bodies that look towards the pollution control of the nation. First is the Central Pollution Control Board, that is also called as CPCB. Central Pollution Control Board of India is a statutory organization under the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, that is called as MOEFC. It was established in 1974 under the Water Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1974. CPCB has its head office in New Delhi with 7 zonal offices and 5 laboratories. The board conducts environmental assessment and research. It is responsible for maintaining national standards under a variety of environmental laws in consultation with zonal offices, tribal and local governments. It has responsibilities to conduct monitoring of water and air quality and maintains monitoring data too. It advises the central government to prevent and control water and air pollution. It also advises the governments of union territories on industrial and other sources of water and air pollution. Sorry. CPCB, along with its counterparts, the state pollution control boards, that is SPCBs, are responsible for implementation of legislation relating to prevention and control of environmental pollution. Now let's see the State Pollution Control Board. As we are dealing with the Maharashtra, the MPCB, that is Maharashtra Pollution Control Board, was established on 7th September 1970 under the provisions of Maharashtra Prevention of Water Pollution Act 1969. The Water Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1974, that is the central legislation, was adopted in Maharashtra on 1st June 1981, and accordingly Maharashtra Pollution Control Board was formed under the provision of Section 4 of Water Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1974. MPCB is implementing various environmental legislations in the state of Maharashtra, mainly including Water Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1974, Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1981, Water Cess Act 1977, and some of the provisions under Environmental Protection Act 1986, and the rules framed thereunder like Biomedical Waste Rules 1998, Hazardous Waste Rules 2000, and Municipal Solid Waste Rules 2000, and many more. Now let's see what are the general standards for discharge of environmental pollutants. Now the the environmental pollutants are based on physical, chemical, and biological properties of water. The wastewater has to be disposed of safely in regards to the environmental legislation. The wastewater can be disposed of either into the inland surface water bodies, public sewers, land of irrigation, or marine coastal areas. So, the parameters that are to be studied are color, suspended solids, particle size of suspended solids, pH value, and temperature. And the values given in the table denote the minimum values to be followed by the industries or the domestic treatment plants before disposing of the wastewater into the freshwater bodies. If the standards do not match with the standards given by the government, the treatment plants have to carry out the required treatment on the wastewater, and then only they have to dispose of into the environment. Next parameters are oil and grease, total residual chlorine, ammonical nitrogen, total nitrogen, free ammonia, biochemical oxygen demand, and chemical oxygen demand, and many more such parameters are to be taken into consideration while giving treatment to wastewater based on the primary, secondary, and tertiary treatments. Now, next point based on these standards are the state boards shall follow guidelines in enforcing the standards specified under schedule. The wastewaters and the gases are to be treated with the best available technology in order to achieve the prescribed standards. The industries need to be encouraged for recycling and reuse of waste materials as far as possible or practicable in order to minimize the discharge of waste into the environment. The industries are to be encouraged for recovery of biogas, energy and reusable materials. While permitting the discharge of effluent and emission into the environment, state boards have to take into account the assimilative capacities of the receiving bodies, especially water bodies, so that quality of the intended use of the receiving waters is not affected. Where such quality is likely to be affected, discharges should not be allowed into water bodies. The central and state boards shall put emphasis on the implementation of clean technologies by the industries in order to increase fuel efficiency and reduce the generation of environmental pollutants. All efforts should be made to remove color and unpleasant odor as far as practicable. The standards mentioned in the schedule shall also apply to all the effluents discharged such as industrial mining and mineral processing activities and sewage. The limit given for the total concentration of mercury in the final effluent of caustic soda industry is for the combined effluent from cell house, brine plant, chlorine handling, hydrogen handling and hydrochloric acid plant. All effluents discharged including from the industries such as cotton, textile, composite woolen mills, synthetic rubber, small pulp and paper, natural rubber, petrochemicals, tanneries, point dyes, slaughterhouses, food and fruit processing and dairy industries into surface water shall conform to be BOD limits specified above, namely 30 mg per liter. For discharge and effluent having a BOD more than 30 mg per liter, the standard shall conform to those given above, and for receiving bodies, namely sewers, coastal waters and land for irrigation. The chemical oxygen demands concentration in a treated effluent, if observed to be persistently greater than 250 mg per liter, before disposal to any receiving body like public sewer, land for irrigation, inland surface water and marine coastal areas. Such industrial units are required to identify chemicals causing the same. In case these are found to be toxic as defined in the Schedule 1 of the Hazardous Rules 1989, the State Board in such cases shall direct the industries to install tertiary treatment stipulating time limit. Standards specified in Part A of Schedule 6 for discharge of effluent into the public sewer shall be applicable only if such sewer leads to secondary treatment including biological treatment systems. Otherwise, the discharge into sewers shall be treated as discharge into inland surface waters. The government also takes a keen interest into the air pollution control, which we will see in the next video. Thank you.